Good morning and happy Tuesday to the Magic Crew. Thank you guys for joining us here today at Walt Disney World as we are getting into our second week of exploring and looking into some of the Walt Disney World resorts here on property and going a little bit more in depth about what you can find when you stay and have a little bit of fun here at these resorts. Today, we're at Disney's Pop Century Resort and we couldn't be happier to have you guys join us today. If this is the first time you've ever joined us here on an Ear to Ear Magic live stream, my name's Chris. I am your Disney travel agent in the parks, and I'm here to operate your camera and tell you a little bit more about one of our favorite resorts here on property. And if you'd love to have a little bit more fun with us, we stream from the parks every Monday through Friday here at Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando Resort, and we'd love to have you guys join us. So if you haven't already joined us and are part of our 9,600 members of our Magic Crew that we achieved as of yesterday, we would love for you guys to hit that subscribe button and be a part of what we do here at Ear to Ear Magic. So welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you. Let's turn this camera around and head on in to Disney's Pop Century Resort today. I'm looking forward to spending some time and just learning a little bit more about everything that we know about this amazing property and a fan favorite from Disney all over the place. So it is a beautiful day, weather in the 90s, and a great day, if any, to have fun here at the resort. So joining me this morning on our live stream, my eldest Owen. Looking forward to walking around and learning a little bit more about Disney's Pop Century.
Yeah, I've been going to the next like 30 minutes of me standing here with my mouth gaping open because he's just like.
So we're going to be going into the 1950s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s as we talk a little bit more about what the resort is like, what to expect when you guys get here, and maybe a little bit of history about where we got here today. So
I love how like all of these are colorful and then we get to like the start of the 20th century.
Well, it's, you know, 90s. The 90s was the decade of industry, technology.
True.
And it wasn't about color. It was about the internet. That's
why some of the areas which we'll get to later.
It's very tech, very industrial. Notice our nice little go-kart here. A little golf cart.
See, that's nice. That's cool.
Fun little photo op right here before you go inside.
Pretty sure someone actually.
All right, so we're gonna go head on into our Classic Hall. Classic Hall is the name of our lobby here at Disney's Pop Century, and we'll talk a little bit more about why it's called Classic Hall in just a bit. Welcome in the Classic Hall, everybody. Good morning, Jordan. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Thank you for doing your live stream for Pop Century. Love to do these kind of things and to provide some more in-depth information about what people can find when they come to Disney. Thank you so much, Jordan, for that super chat. That really does help us out. And we will be using that to maybe buy some food and a little bit of snacks here today to share some menus and some opportunities for when you guys get here. So thank you so much, Jordan, for making it possible for us to share a little bit of food and drink with everybody on the stream today. And again, thank you so much for that super chat.
Any money that you can give really helps.
It really does, guys. It really does help out every time.
Even if it's just like somewhere with $5.
And Jeremy Tour77 says, can you explore some of the places that eat around your location? Most definitely. We're going to be walking around and showing everything as far as everything pop, and that was a pun intended, everything pop, and some of the treats, snacks, and food you can get here at the resort. So thank you so much again for that super chat, Jeremy 777. I hope you're having an awesome Tuesday as well. So the whole idea, everyone, of Pop Century is that it was Disney's idea in moving forward into the value resort area of capturing the greatest things of the later years or the classic years of the centuries of the 20th century. So you're going to see we're going to start in the 1950s and go all the way to the 1990s. And as you walk through the lobby, I want you guys to notice along the wall here, they're actually going to take you on a timeline all the way around. So when we first walk in, the timeline starts right there at 1950. And if you've never looked up and noticed, it actually takes you all the way down through the lobby into the 1990s. So if you've never taken the time and opportunity to just sit and look at the cool shadow boxes that are here, and we'll kind of go through there quickly as well. It's a lot of fun to see the history of it. And welcome in everybody. Hello Ilaria, good to see you. Good morning Robert, how are you doing today? And thank you guys so much for the thumbs up and helping us spread the word out. We're already over 200 likes for today's stream. Love to get to 250 and beyond. And as we go through, feel free to ask questions. My wife Susan is in the chat, and we're happy to help talk about some of the things that we know of when it comes to booking and planning your Disney World vacation, especially when it comes to Pop Centric. And if you have any questions at any time that goes beyond the stream, we would love for you guys to take the opportunity to send us an email over at chrisedwards@travelmation.net and susanedwards@travelmation.net. Susan and I are Travelmation travel agents. We work with an amazing company, and they are an earmarked preferred Disney destinations travel company. So let us know how we can help you guys out, and we'll be glad to respond and get you guys set up as well. So send us an email. So before we get into the full idea, let me talk a little bit about what Pop Century was. Love the music that goes through all the different areas. So let's go a little time capsule back. 1990s, which is where we're going to end up here at the back end of our lobby. The 1990s, Walt Disney World was seeing an influx of people coming in to Orlando to stay here. And they were doing an amazingly great job of bringing people in on their new value resorts over at the All-Stars. All-Star Sports, All-Star Music, and All-Star Movies. These three All-Stars were doing terribly well. And Disney decided, you know what, we're gonna have to take this a little step further. We're gonna need to have more hotels on property so people can enjoy it and at a value range. So they decided it's time to come up with the next level of our value resorts. And so they came up with Disney's Pop Century, where they can take you all the way from the 1900, decade by decade, all the way up to the 1990s. So when you got done, you would have each decade represented, both the legendary years, which was the first years all the way up to 1940s, and the classic years starting from 1950s to the 1990s. Now, you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, Chris. We've got 1950s to the 1990s. Here we're in Classic Hall. So what happened? Well, they got started, and this is where they started. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but the legendary years, where are they? We'll find out a little bit as well. So right now, everything we're talking about is the original idea of the classic years here at Disney. So let's kind of look at some of the shadow boxes. I wonder if Owen goes through here and wonders about any of these. The shadow boxes are pretty cool. Why is everybody always picking on me? Even wouldn't it be cool to have the original 1950s edition of a lunchbox, school lunchbox? Look, there's our Mouseketeers. There's Annette Funicello, Bobby and Doreen, and of course, Disneyland itself opened up in the 1950s.
Each one just have usually like a theme around it.
Backyard barbecues and hey, Owen, can you tell me what that is?
Why is that in the ice cube tray?
Is that what that is?
It looks like, what does it say? Magic torch? Shucker.
It's a Shucker. It's a Shucker brand. It's registered by Shucker. I think you hit it on the nail right there when you first said it. You got it right
To
when
get
you
the
saw it.
ice cubes out?
It's an ice tray. You pour the water in.
It's connected to the thing. So
You
just
pour the ice
thing
cube.
out.
You pour the water in, put it in the freezer, and then when it's time to take the ice cubes out, what do?
We just pour the thing out.
And it pops out the ice.
I mean, look really good.
I think we had several of them as well, Kathy. All right, the old-fashioned ice cube trays before they started making them plastic. Captain Good Guy says, I remember using that ice cube tray. So going into the 1960s, out of the 80s, from the 50s, classic board game of Concentration. If you guys remember the game show from the 80s that was on television for a while. The Flintstones! Did you know the Flintstones were the very first animated cartoon made for the primetime slot to be played at night for all families to watch? Check out the monorail game.
Monorail with 2 levels to it.
And the funny thing is, I actually own one of these Tonka fire trucks. It wasn't mine, it was actually my older brother Kevin's, and it was passed down to me, I think. But I have, it's Tonka, right? Does it say Tonka? What does it say? Yeah, it is, it's Tonka truck.
It says Tonka on the side of it.
I Dream of Jeannie, the Beach Boys. Look at the cooler. Welcome in, Michelle. Good to see you, Inez. The Flintstones are classics.
Grab the cookie box.
The moon landing, whether or not you believe it actually was real or not.
I don't know.
The Beatles.
Like the first CGI thing, like it did not look good whatsoever. So I'm not sure that thing stands up to, like. I mean, it was black and white, but still.
Well, you know, they say it was done on a soundstage.
A soundstage.
And of course, all the kids back there either wanted to go into space or into the sea. Going into the 70s. And welcome in, guys. We're over here at Disney's Pop Century this morning. Kind of take a good look at our classic hall for the classic years. Oh, and do you know what that is down there?
VHS.
A VHS? That is a VHS, everybody.
Was that wrong?
No, that's actually an 8-track.
Oh, that's way before.
8-track tapes.
What is?
That's a telephone. That is a telephone.
That is so.
Is it? No, it's a radio.
That's a radio.
I think it is. See, even I have to figure out what that is.
That is such a
That's
good design to it. Like, is that like a two-sided flashlight?
Now,
What am I looking at?
of course, 1971, October 1st, Walt Disney World opens for the first time. You got the Magic Kingdom. That is the cover of Life magazine showing the cast photo and the characters in front of the castle way back when it opened up. And the Ear to Ear Magic family actually owns an actual copy of that magazine. So it was given to us as a gift by some friends, and I can't believe they gave it to me. It's an amazing, amazing gift. So moving on into the 80s. Everybody knows Simon Says. I spent so much time playing on that game. We had things in there including Thundercats. Ho! Trivial Pursuit, the original handheld video games where we used to play things like baseball and football, but those actually existed even, I think, before the 80s, honestly. He-Man. And of course, the Cabbage Patch Kids. Not the original, but the ones that were mass produced. They were still expensive and hard to get. Wonder Woman. Is that correct? All the TV that was very popular, even Wheel of Fortune, the board game. And of course, Wendy's. Where's the beef?
It's an actual. Oh my goodness, it is. There's a.
Where's the beef?
Right there.
Oh yeah, it's very big. I still remember all the commercials.
So they were.
My little grandma was hilarious. Where's the beef?
They were crazy about the meat thing.
Well, they didn't want those tiny hamburgers. Moving into
that's actually a good thing to go on.
Going into the 90s, we got tattoo parlors coming into mix. Different styles. We've got Disney movies such as Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Hercules, and The Lion King, and Toy Story. And the dawn of major advanced gaming such as the Game Boy, and even Pokemon. Look how faded they are.
Oh yeah,
but
that used to be so
they came back. They started in the later 90s. And even the Sega Dreamcast. I spent many a time playing games in that in college. There was a unit that you could put in there that would give a LCD screen.
Oh.
That would let you do other things.
It's like an expansion pack, except
In a way, yes.
Okay.
So lots of cool things to see here as you check out the lobby here in Classic Hall. And it's kind of fun to go through there, especially if you bring your kids with you. Like, you know, having fun with Owen and having them see the objects and stuff like that. Antonio, good morning. Did you ever go to the Cabbage Patch Toyland in Georgia? Oh, yes, I did. We've been there a couple of times. And it's the Cabbage Patch Hospital. And it's an actual hospital where you can actually see the Cabbage Patch Kids being born. It's still open to this day, and you can go and pay a really good price to have a brand new handmade Cabbage Patch Kid at the General Land Hospital. And we've taken the kids there before. I'm not sure exactly how they reacted to the idea of these kids being popped out of a cabbage. And the My Little Pony. Where's the beef? So if you guys are just joining us here, welcome into Disney's Pop Century. We're going to take you guys on a walking tour around the property and give you some information about what we have available here for vacations. Classic Hall, of course, for the classic years, 1950s to the 1990s. And we're going to walk through every building and answer your questions and talk to you about room prices and room styles and things like that. So if you have questions, let us know. Michelle says, never been there, but I have plenty of Cabbage Patch Kids. All right, so everything Pop, shopping, and dining. This is going to be your gift shop where you can get all kinds of cool things that you can get in the parks or you can get them at your resort. And of course, they do have a few things that are made just for the exclusive resort for Pop Century, including this really cool Have a Nice Day shirt. And to the max, dude. Pop Century. Do you smell it?
Oh yeah.
They're baking cookies. They're baking cookies, Lucille.
There is absolutely no wall.
Oh, it smells so good over there, and they're making cookies, I think, for today's guest. Pop Century magnets. And one of my favorites, look at the Christmas ornament. The old style Mickey Mouse telephone One of my biggest regrets in life is going to a thrift store in Helen, Georgia, where we found a Mickey Mouse vintage phone for sale for $45, and I wanted to buy it, and I halted on it, and I didn't get it. And it's probably one of my biggest regrets in life is not buying that original Mickey Mouse telephone. Good morning, Gary. Love Pop. My only complaint is the bus services isn't the best. You have to stay near the first bus stop so it doesn't pass you from being full. Return service can be slow too. And we're going to talk a little bit also about transportation. There are a couple of different forms of transportation here. Now, later on this month, I believe it's the 28th or the 29th, Disney is going to reinstate the minivans service here. So there will be an alternative third if you really, really want to go faster. But they do have bus services here that will take you to all of the parks or Disney Springs. And you can also grab the Skyliner, which is
also the Skyliner. Not many resorts have that access to that
so
line.
the Skyliner actually added a lot of value to this already value-added resort. So it gets you to Hollywood Studios and Epcot pretty quickly.
You can also say, like, if you want to eat or walk around in the resort, you can also go resort hopping easily.
Yes, you can easily get to the Caribbean Beach, Riviera, or any of the Epcot area resorts as well, such as the Boardwalk. So it's a lot easier now if you're staying at Pop to be able to get to the Boardwalk to do some things in the evening. So I'm going to show you guys where the bus service is up here. Bus services is right outside of Classic Hall. As you can see, there are several bus stops all along the way, designated down the colorful Pop signs. Each of them are listed as which park they go to. You can even find monitors along the way on the wall that will tell you where the buses are and when the next scheduled bus is set to arrive to go into certain locations. Now, the one thing about this resort is that they do not have bus service stops all around the resort. This is the one centrally located bus station. So if you're going to be staying at Pop and you want to ride the buses to somewhere, where your room is going to make a big difference as to where and how long it takes you to get to the buses. Because if you're staying at one of the outer areas in outer buildings, it's going to take you a little bit longer. All right. Hi, Caitlin. I don't see. I'm really having a hard time seeing comments today. But hello and good morning. Buenos dias, Evelyn. How are you? Good morning, Explorer Jen. How are you? Good to have you in. I'm just going to take you guys into everything Pop food area. They are baking first thing this morning, so I'm smelling, I think, what has to be chocolate chip cookies. And it's permeating the entire area. Here is our Everything Pop food court, where you can come in. You can mobile order. And they have other grab and go options as well for breakfast. You can grab lunch and dinner here. And I think at the end of today's stream, if we can get done quickly enough, Owen and I are going to come over here and maybe eat a couple of things and finish up the stream with a bite to share with you guys. So we'll go over the menus and some information about that. So we'll be back to check out Everything Pop. Good morning, Diane. Good way to start the day, right? With some Mickey waffles. Welcome in, Wishes Forever. Thank you for joining us here at Pop today. All of our drink options here. Now, we are starting to go, we're adding a resort tour to our weekly streams every week. And so I talked to Owen, and Owen, this is the second time Owen has joined me on a walking tour here. And I told him if he's going to keep walking with me on these tours every Tuesday, I might have to get him a Disney Resort mug so that, you know, he can get some refills and stay hydrated. So Disney Resort mugs, again, are only good at the resorts. They're good at all the resorts, though, but you cannot use them in the parks. So keep that in mind. Your resort mug is refillable as long as the stations and areas are open, and they are good for the length of your stay. We love the food courts both here at Pop Century and Art of Animation, and oftentimes when we would come on vacation, even if we weren't staying here, the kids would ask if we could go have lunch here, and this is well before the Skyliner, so we would make a special trip over just to have lunch or dinner at these locations. So welcome in, Jennifer, good to see you. Chelsea, good morning. Makes me want to grab my souvenir mug and fill it with iced tea. Go ahead, do it and sip along with us. And one of my favorite things here at the resort is right here behind me. So, well, we just got a PayPal. We just got a PayPal. We just got a PayPal from the Explorers. The Explorers, thank you so much for the $5 tip going toward Owen's Resort Mug Fund. And I told him we might have to get him one today, and that way he can use it on next week's tour as well. And thank you so much, the Explorers, and thank you guys whenever you give PayPals by clicking the link at the top of the chat. That money is available to us immediately if you donate it through PayPal, so we can use it today. We love super chats. They are awesome, but keep in mind super chats are only paid out once a month. So if you see something really cool that you'd want us to try immediately, PayPals are always the best way to go. But thank you guys so much for that. All right, you guys ready for the reveal? You ready? Here we go. Boom! Boy, it just kind of pops right out of the screen, doesn't it? I was going to try to back down the stairs. I'm like, no, that might be an entertaining live stream, but I don't know if that would help me so much as far as the emergency room fees later on. The big pop right there. Great place for photos. And if you stay here at Pop Century, I guarantee you need to stop and get a family photo in front of the pop. Welcome in, Z Free. Good to have you in, Zach and CK. And good morning, Mike. How you doing today? Steven says, we check in on Sunday here at Pop. How are the lines of the Skyliner in the morning? They are going to be heavy, especially on busier days. So my biggest tip is either show up early or show up a little later. Now, I will tell you, as long as the lines may get, they oftentimes go pretty quickly. So even the longest lines that wrap around,
it is constantly moving.
Constantly going. So don't worry about the long lines. Even a very, very long line will show you 15 to 20 minutes and you'll be on your way. So welcome in, Stephen. Have any other questions about Pops, please let us know as we're walking around today. Now, over here in the main section by Classic Hall is, of course, the Hippy Dippy Pool, because it's located here in the 1960s. And the Hippy Dippy Pool has lots of flowers, flower petal, what I'm looking for, shower spritzes and stuff like that. And also located here is our Petals Bar, where, you know, adults and younger guests can come up and get a little something cool to drink and check out. Good morning, guys. How are you? We are live on YouTube doing a tour of the resort today, and we put it on our list that we were going to stop by Petals today and let everybody know they got to come by and say hello to you guys and get something to drink, right? So I don't want to put you guys on the spot if if you got something else, but if you love to plug what Pedals has, a pedal plug, that kind of works out well, huh? What's the coolest drink that you can think of that people need to get if they come over to Pedals?
The coolest or the best? That's the
Ooh, well, let's do both. What's the coolest? What's the one you want to have in your hand on Instagram?
In my opinion, I would say the lava lamp because
The lava lamp?
is original and unique to this bar.
It's a
So
groovy mix of Bacardi, rum. It's got blue curacao, sweet and sour Sprite, and a float of grenadine.
So when we add the grenadine to it, it bubbles kind of a little bit like a
Oh,
lava
so it
lamp.
makes it look like a lava lamp. Oh, that's pretty cool.
That one, most aesthetic, still really good. I've had it, but my personal favorite, banana cabana.
Banana Cabana.
Mango rum, coconut rum, banana liqueur, orange juice, pineapple juice, grenadine. You want that sweet, fruity summer flavor.
And it just kind of puts you right into that living life free kind of mood, right?
And again, got that grenadine on the bottom, so it looks like a sunset. Pretty and tastes fantastic.
All right, now this guy over here, not old enough to enjoy the lava lamp or the banana cabana, but I'm about to walk him around the resort. We're gonna walk around every building and talk about the history of the resort and the rooms and stuff like that. But I need him something cool to drink. What would you recommend as far as a smoothie or something that would be refreshing that he could enjoy?
The lava smoothie is really good.
The lava smoothie?
I like the
Non-alcoholic pina colada. So it's pina colada. We got raspberry puree swirled in there, so it looks really good. It tastes fantastic. You get a cute little 50th characters up with it too.
Oh, cool. What do you think, bud?
That's cool.
You want that or any of the other ones? They got, as far as non-alcoholic, they have a strawberry smoothie, the lava smoothie.
We got strawberry lemonade, raspberry lemonade, good old-fashioned lemonade.
I mean, I say try the lava smoothie. Just
You want to do the lava smoothie?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's get a lava smoothie for him, and I'll try the strawberry smoothie and have something for us to cool ourselves out as we walk around. Now, the Pedals Bar is open every morning starting at 11 a.m. and going to 11:30.
So if you're waking up at midnight and you're like, oh man, I want to drink there.
You wait.
So they-
You come back from the park and you need something to drink to cool yourself off for a little bit. Susan's like, ooh, the lava lamp. The lava. Good morning and welcome in, Hyper Cactus. And you can even add, if you guys want to have a little souvenir to go home with,
Strawberry smoothie.
you can grab yourself a Pop
Nice,
Century
that's good.
slap wrap koozie. And I remember when these first came out, we actually came by and took a picture and then shared them out on Instagram. They were kind of cool. So a couple of really cool things from Pedals Bar. So when you're walking around the resort or having a dip over here in the hippy dippy pool, you've got something to cool off with.
1276.
All right. Can you hold it there just a second, bud? Thank you.
Always fun when people get the lava smoothies for their kids and they get the pina coladas for the adults. It's nice.
I'm kind of jealous now. That looks pretty nice.
Yeah, that
It's
looks
good.
like you can definitely tell which one is which. That looks amazing.
Absolutely. So this top receipt just needs the autograph. Bottom's going to be yours. If you don't want it, leave it behind. I can toss it
Okay.
out for you. Big trash you got to, I can take your hand off. Absolutely.
I got one person in chat saying that the lava lamp is awesome.
It looks really good.
But how does it taste?
And I'm feeling like I sold myself short by not getting one myself now.
Hey, more. I mean, you can have a sip if you want to. Like,
I can have a sip.
Oh.
I know. I mean, I know you paid
Being
for it.
so
Fine.
generous now. Thank you very much. Thank you guys.
Have a good day. Enjoy your tour. We'll be here if you need a refill, okay?
You have a good day as well.
Here. He wants into that drink now.
You do a taste test, a live taste test?
And go for it. You're tasting it out there, bud.
Oh my god, that is amazing. You said it's like pina colada with strawberry in it?
Raspberry.
Raspberry. Yeah, that's what I'm tasting. That's,
Yep.
that goes so good together. It's like something you would never think of, but that.
So you guys who are coming in, you know, if you want to have that really cool looking drink, grab yourself a lava lamp. Grab a little lava lamp for the kids as well, the non-alcoholic version. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
Guys.
You honestly know, I seriously need to try like at least once of this. This is amazing. Yeah, here, take some of that.
Oh,
You
Ooh,
taste the
coconutty.
pina colada with the strawberry.
oh, the coconuts.
I mean raspberry. Pina colada and raspberry. I mean, I'm just gonna say that.
Welcome in MDF 3530. Glad you could join us on this beautiful day here at Walt Disney World. Over here by the hippy dippy pool, which is not really hippy dippy with the music at the moment, but
If you actually zoom out and like look at a map, this is actually in theming with this entire area. The pool is in the shape of a flower.
yeah, well, we're gonna find yourself the map in just a moment. And to show you guys, this is our guest laundry. If you come here, we highly recommend, if you're staying for a long period of time, don't pack yourself an outfit for every single day. If you're staying for 7 days or more, what you can do is pack for half the trip and then locate your guest laundry and wash your clothes. And you can either, one, pack less suitcases, or two, even better, make sure you have an empty suitcase to put souvenirs in later.
Just like the last time we shoot resort, you rolling your guest ski get in there.
Welcome in, Movie Mania Nick. How you doing today? Good morning, David.
This is like, I must say, I was like on the edge about getting on there, but this is why you need to like be open to trying new things. This is amazing.
Welcome in, Matt. How you doing today? Martha and I come here when we were there last time. It's an awesome hotel. We'll show you the overall map here in just a second. There are 2,880 rooms here at the resort. So here's where we're at the moment, as far as we just walked away from Classic Hall. Why is it classic? Of course, because it's the classic years, 1950s to the 1990s. And we did take you guys through the lobby. We missed the arcade, so remind us when we go back in. We come back at the end of our tour, we'll go back in and take you guys into the arcade as well. The retail store and the food court. We'll grab something for lunch a little bit later. And we just grabbed a couple of drinks over at the Petals Pool Bar, adjacent to the hippy dippy pool, as Owen said, shaped in the shape of a flower. Now, the overall resort, pretty expansive. So sometimes we've heard, you know, complaints when someone said, man, it's just so far to walk, depending on where you're going. So before we get into the buildings, let me guys show you a little bit about what we're going to do, what we're going to be looking at. Classic Hall, of course, is here. This is our main lobby. We are standing right here off to the side. There are the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. There are a total of 10 buildings here on property. And again, 2,880 rooms, 3 buildings for the 50s, 2 for the 60s, 2 for the 70s, 2 for the 80s, and 1 for the 90s. Now, when you contact us to ask for a quote and to help book your trip and you want to stay at Pop Century, one of the main questions we're going to ask you is, what type of room would you like to stay in? There are primarily going to be 4 types of rooms to look at here at Pop Century. 1, standard. 2, standard pool. 3, preferred. And 4, preferred pool. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly what those are going to look like if you were to book. Preferred are going to be the buildings that are going to be closest to Classic Hall. So if you're looking at preferred, you're going to be looking at these buildings right here. 50s and 60s and 70s are called preferred because they are going to be closest to the hall and also closest to where the Skyliner is going to be down here at the bottom. Now, if you get to standard, you're going to be finding yourself over possibly either into the farther of the 70s or the 80s and the 90s, a little bit farther away from the main hall and also farther away from the Skyliner. And when you choose between standard and standard pool, keep in mind each of these buildings, there are 3 pools. There's a pool here at the 50s, the Hippy Dippy pool, and there is a pool that is shared by the 80s and 90s. There is not a pool over by the 70s, so please keep that in mind. If you ask for a room with a pool view, it means that your room is going to be inside of these buildings, looking at side where the pool is. If you get a room that is not a pool view, you're going to find yourself looking either at the parking lot or something away from and not having the view of the pool. So again, standard pool, preferred, and preferred pool. Those are going to be your 4 choices, and when you guys contact us, we'll know exactly what you guys are looking for. If you say, you know what, we want a preferred, we want a pool view, the best one's right there in the 60s, closest to the hall, closest to a pool, closest to the Skyliner. So let's head on into the 50s. WWE fan, can you eat here if you are not staying on property? Oh yes, yes you can. Just like any of the resorts here on Disney property, you can resort hop. Like I said, we used to do it on a regular basis. The kids, we would leave the parks and the kids would go, I want to go eat at Honor of Animation, or I want to go eat at Pop Century, and we would drive over, or we would get on a bus and take a bus over from the parks and go eat here. So yes, you can do it. Now, notice on this area, each of the stairwells at the end of each of the buildings is going to have a very cool theming with whichever building you're staying in. So for the 50s, it's all about the bowling alley. So you'll notice our bowling pins are down here. How's that lava going? Oh, never mind. It's gone.
Oh, this is,
Did you,
tell you, this is
what about the pineapple piece? Did you eat it?
I was gonna like sit for the meat.
Oh, go for it. Enjoy that fresh fruit. I didn't even get
Yeah,
pineapple on
scoop
mine. Oh, yeah, there you go. Brain freeze yet?
Oh,
All right, so the buildings are decorated with bowling pins, and at the hop, dancing, hoop skirts, small transistor radios, all the flair of the 50s. Now, one thing I did not point out earlier that I want to make sure everyone's aware of, Disney's Pop Century is a value resort, and all value resorts have outdoor hallways, meaning I guess the easiest way to bring it up is that it's like a motel style, and the fact that the doors go immediately out to the outside, and that's for every single room here on property for a value resort, except for, and let me make this exception, except for the family suites over at Art of Animation, which is also considered to be a family or a value resort as well. So
yeah, I need a napkin. I actually destroyed that pineapple.
So let's get over to our quiet pool. You can see we've got a jukebox there at the end. And over here we've got Tramp. It's Lady and the Tramp. I wonder why they're here. Because the movie came out in the 50s. We even got their doghouse. Look, it's Lady's doghouse. But you know, that's kind of not a good thing. It's when she got in trouble, she had to sleep outside. So, yep, in the middle, we've got some great photo ops with Lady and the Tramp in the 1950s. And, oh, and you're right. Lady and the Tramp, being the 15th animated full feature motion picture for the Walt Disney World Company, or Walt Disney Company, came out in June 22nd, 1955. And did you guys?
Impressive that you can name the exact order.
Oh.
The exact number.
And also, here's a really fun fact. Did you guys know that Lady and the Tramp, the whole story was based upon a short story that appeared in Cosmopolitan magazine? Yeah, it was. I think the name of the story was Happy Dan, Cynical Dog. And from that short story in Cosmopolitan magazine, Walt Disney World, I keep saying Walt Disney World, Walt Disney and his team turned it into a classic animated film. It came out in 1955.
See, this is good enough.
Any Lady and the Tramp fans out there? These are all great places in around the resort to get some photos with your group. So it doesn't matter which building you stay in. I highly recommend walking around and getting some fun photos at the other locations around the property. Welcome in, right in the teacups. How are you?
How's this movie?
I'm sneezing my strawberry smoothie.
Do that.
All right, so I'm gonna do it again. The flowers smell nice, but
Oh, it's rousing your eyes.
not really so much even allergies, really.
Are you about to bring up a comment about the theming? Well, back in the 60s, you could see flowers and stuff like that. Well, you can see records. We have the repeated theme of shaped pools. If you didn't notice before, the pool is actually shaped in a bowling shape.
Yes, the pool over here is in the shape of a bowling pin. So, even though we're at the edge of the property, the 50s building is considered to be a preferred because it is located adjacent to the Classic Hall. Welcome in, GGW1. Welcome to Disney's Pop Century. So I'm going to take you guys a little bit farther out from the 50s. Yeah, notice our pool is in the shape of a bowling pin.
Oh, they even have that building over there with a foot locker.
Yeah, it's where your shoes, you get your bowling shoes. It's where you get your changing room and your restrooms for the pool. Looks like your place you get your bowling shoes. And you can even choose some of your favorite tunes here on our giant jukebox. I drank that strawberry smoothie too fast. I'm choking on it. It's really good though. So each of the rooms here does have an outdoor door as well as a window. And oftentimes, like the one we just passed by, guests staying at Pop Century like to decorate their window.
Yeah.
So if you're staying here during the holidays or something like that,
Oh, there will be lights.
take an event. Yeah. Halloween lights, Christmas lights are all very common. happy birthday signs and all kinds of decor to share with everybody who's walking by. Now, I came over here to show you guys that each of these buildings does have a parking lot that's really close to it. So even though you come into the main lobby, there will be a parking lot that will be available for you guys to park closer to your building. But again, keep in mind, you will have to go back over to the Classic Hall in order to access your bus system.
There is no individual bus station.
Yeah, so it's not like Port Orleans Riverside where they will have a bus station for each of the buildings. You'll have to go back over to the main hall.
But that it does come with a perk, as this is not multiple stations. It's not going to be stopping multiple times.
And that's right, the Key Cups, they do have guest laundry over in each of those pool areas as well. I'm going to walk around this way to show you guys the edge of what it looks like here. Let's go this direction. So again, when you guys ask for help in booking and I say, would you like a pool view or not? The prices of the pool view may change. Will change the price of your stay ever so slightly. So I'll show you guys, if you just happen to be on this side of the building, boom, this is still the 50s, but because you're looking at landscaping and the parking lot, this would be considered to be a this would be a preferred view or preferred room with no pool view, because you're still in a building that's close to the main lobby. So, all right, let's cut through the parking lot real quick, and I want to take you guys on the other side, and we'll start working our way back over to the 60s. Now, one of the things you guys will always be wanting to know is how much. It's a value resort. How much is it? So, to give you guys an idea of what it will be. Let's see. I have a few things I'm going to pull up. Give me just a second. I thought I had them already ready. I wasn't ready. Give me just 1 second here. All right. Oh, I didn't pull up right. I messed up, guys. Sorry. Well, we'll just do it for a full screen for the moment. From July 5th, or I think from the 18th to the 22nd, here is a preferred room, non-pool view. We still have at the moment, and please keep in mind, prices and availability are always subject to change. But right now, if you were to contact us, we could get you a room in the middle of July and still have access to the Disney Plus promotional rate, which means if you have a Disney Plus account that is active, we can get you a discounted price. You can see it's even less than of course, the standard room rate for that time period. And this is our preferred room for the same time period. This is a standard room for the same week. So with your Disney Plus promotional rate, you can get a room here for about $173 per night. So if you guys are interested, always reach out and let us know. We'd be glad to quote you guys. No obligation. You guys know us. We're going to help you out as much as possible. If it's not your fit and it's not your time, that's fine. But reach out and let us know. And we're always glad to help you guys as far as looking at and thinking about what we can do to get you guys back out there and traveling again. So the reason I brought you over here is because, first of all, this again is still considered the 50s. Second, do not be surprised if you're staying in the 50s and you come out to go to your car, and out in front of your car or near your car is a wild turkey.
Oh, all right. They have turkeys in this area.
They do have wild turkeys in the area, and several times in the past, the family here we have met our turkey buddy who comes out here. Matter of fact, when they first started working on the Skyliner, we have several instances where we came out to see construction and see how things were going. And in doing so, we met our turkey buddy who often roams through the parking lots. So don't freak out if you come out to your car and you see Gerald, who's just kind of walking in between the cars. He's very friendly. Don't attack, don't approach him. He's not gonna jump into your arms and give you cuddles, but he's still a really cool turkey. He's he's one real cool turkey. Literally, he's a turkey. So this is one half of our Hourglass Lake. This body of water is in basically two ovals separated by the bridge there where our Skyliner station is now. So looking from above, it does sort of look like an hourglass. And being the fact that we're talking pop century, we're talking about time periods. Yeah. So the idea that they made the water inside the shape of an hourglass is kind of cool. Now, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more of the history, what's going on. But the idea, good morning, when they decided that they were going to put in another value resort, they started developing this property. And when they started to build these buildings over here, Owen, they also started to build these buildings over there, because this was to be the classic years.
Yes.
And across Hourglass Lake was never supposed to be Art of Animation.
Yes.
Was supposed to be the legendary years. The legendary years starting from 1900s, the 1910s, the 1920s, and the 1940s. So 4 different decades on the other side of Hourglass Lake. So guess what? You'd have your classics, you'd have your legendaries, and in between was a body of water called the Hourglass Lake and a bridge called the Generation Gap Bridge. Well, unfortunately, because of the decline in travel that happened after September 11th, Disney put a halt on the legendary years. So even though they had built these buildings for the 1940s, they did not continue to develop it, because Pop Century was first getting ready to open up around 1999, eventually actually opened in December of 2003. And at that point, travel had declined so much that they put a halt on the legendary years. And this sat here for about 7 years before they finally decided it was time to ramp the plans back up. And at that point, the whole plans for the idea and the areas had changed. So instead of building the legendary years in the 1900s, 10s, 20s, 30s, and 40s, came the birth of Disney's Art of Animation, which is why, if you noticed, the buildings that are originally supposed to be the 1940s look so much like the buildings in the 1950s.
Yes, and also another thing that's point out. If you look further across the water, you'll notice that that set of buildings is the only one that's outside.
Because
all the other buildings in Art of Animation have been built inside.
Exactly. The Little Mermaid rooms at the Art of Animation were originally supposed to be in the 1940s. Because they weren't developed like that, they made them into the Little Mermaid rooms, and the rest of the resort was built as family suites. Still a value resort, but they're all indoor hallways and family suites accommodating up to 6 people. So if you've ever wondered, I wonder why the Little Mermaid rooms are so different than the Lion King or Finding Nemo or even Cars, it's because these guys were originally supposed to be the legendary years. And to this day, because of the fact that they did not create the legendary years, our Generation Gap Bridge was never officially named. And to this day, it's just the bridge over to the Skyliner. And did you guys know you could walk on the edge all the way over to Art of Animation as well?
If you wanted to say, hey, I just want to take a long outside, you can. There's like, just because most of this get from place to place, you have to walk outside. There is a lot of room to walk in.
Oh, this is a great place. If you want to do some
To
running,
be outside,
there's some great running trails and lots of places to do stuff like that. 1950, the most popular Pez head dispensers to date are Mickey Mouse and Santa Claus.
Have little facts on the edge here.
Little things to remind you about what it was like to be in the 50s. All right, so let me see if I can get back into the chat a little bit, guys. I love sharing information with you, and sometimes with it being bright, it's hard for me to keep up with everything that's going into the chat. So if you have questions, I'm glad Susan's watching along with us today, and the chat can help with that. Our mods can do the same thing. Feel free to ask questions. I'll try to get to them if I can. I'll get to a point where I can see them. And if I miss your questions during this point, we will be making our way back over for a little bit of lunch at the Everything Pop, and we'll kind of do a recap of everything if we miss anything from you guys through the first part of the stream. And if anyone's just joining us, welcome into Disney's Pop Century. We're over here at 1950s at the moment. We're going to be walking back over to the 1960s.
See a perfect view of the sky up here. I can't remember when they made the bridge. It wasn't something like that's been there for a while. I mean, like yes, it's been there for like.
You mean the Hourglass? I mean the bridge up across the way?
Yeah.
It's been there from the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
But the Skyliner, on the other hand.
Skyliner is completely different.
Yes. That was made after it.
Skyliner was something that stopped. Oh no! Doesn't stop for long.
Yeah. They do take precautions. They know, just in case something does have anything to do with a boat around the edge.
Oh yeah, they have a boat here at the edge of the Hourglass Lake, and if they needed to, they can go by and lift the ladder up, and they'll get you out.
Yeah.
Nobody has to jump into the water.
Yeah. Please don't do that if it stops. That's not the first thing.
Somebody asked a question today. How long does the line get for the Skyliner in the mornings? It is not uncommon for it to be back as far back as where I'm standing right now. But even so, being this far back, we usually only take you about 20 minutes to get onto the Skyliner. It's a lesser wait than you wait for some of the other attractions inside the park, and to some, the Skyliner is almost an attraction in itself. Doesn't require you to be in the park to ride. Lauren B says, I will freak out if I see a turkey in my walking path. They love people. They're very accustomed to people, Lauren. You will be fine. Don't worry. And I'll trust you. If you start working toward him and you get too close, he'll walk away from you before you walk away from him. Welcome in, Spencer and fam. Glad to have you with us today. And thank you guys so much for everybody who has recently joined our channel here on Ear to Ear Magic. Have joined our Magic crew. Yesterday we did reach 9,600 members of our crew. A great, amazing group of people and a community that we love to hang out with every time we live stream from the park. So if you're joining us today for the first time and you would like to be a part of a group that you can hang out with in the parks and have a good time with, hit that subscribe button. Greatly appreciate it. All right, so this is a better view of our bowling pin.
You kind of see how they tried to make open the sign. Like they made this pillar first, and then they made this like kind of like structure around it, rather than build the pin first and then the circle finish. With the idea for building plan there.
Welcome in, Kadani Sean, Ninja watching, and thank you to all of our Ninja watchers out there. We love it when you guys can just hang out with us. Have us playing in the background. Just do us a favor, if you did get that one phone call is done, or you finished that one meeting that we all know should have been an email, just pop in and say hello. We'd love to be able to say good morning to you as well.
Now we have one of the coolest staircases.
I came in this morning. I told Owen that they one of the other Duncan yo-yos over here was being worked on, and they're doing a little maintenance on it, making it look nicer, and you know, getting it ready. And I said, work has been going, you know, sort of inconsistently as they've been working on it. I told him, I said, yeah, it's been going up and down. Jay Wild, so are they outside hallways like at All Stars? Yes, they are. Jay Wild, they all of them here at Pop Century are outdoor hallways. Same thing for the Little Mermaid rooms over at Art of Animation. Outdoor hallways and outdoor windows. Welcome in, Angel Joy. This is the one that they're working on right now. Just making it look a little nicer. Getting it ready. So Kaylin, we're moving over from the 1950s to the 1960s. I have a feeling that the 1960s are my favorites because each of the stairwells at the ends of the buildings are gigantic Duncan Imperial yo-yos. You actually go inside the yo-yo to climb up the stairs to the other floors. There are 4 floors of each of the 10 buildings. And though I do like being on the bottom floor for some reasons, there's something to be said about climbing up inside a giant metal yo-yo. This one's blue that we're looking at right now, Caitlin. As I come around the corner on the other side of the 60s buildings is a green one. And what's really funny is Duncan Yo-Yos has actually had some of their world famous yo-yo throwers come to the resorts in the past.
I've actually was able to meet one personally.
And it was really cool because I bought Owen after we saw the yo-yo thrower here. We had a great time watching him do some tricks and walking the dog and all that. And I took him to Target. No joke. I took him to Target afterwards. I bought him a yo-yo so that he could actually try it out, and because he had never had a yo-yo before. And Owen, do you remember what was on the back of the package?
The same guy.
It was the picture of the dude we had just seen at Pop Century. Was on the back of the package.
Right on the back of the
as being one of their famous world champion yo-yo throwers. So
he was just casually just
hanging out at Pop Century. Randy Jackson says, I'm a 60s kid. All kids had yo-yos. I know, and I felt like I did him a disservice by not giving him a yo-yo beforehand. So we are back to the main area here. Again, another preferred building. These are going to be your pool views in the 1960s, allowing you to see the hippy dippy pool, as well as a kid splash area that we're getting ready to walk past right now.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna have so many copyright issues. We're gonna have so many copyright things on our stream today.
Just for
YouTube's like,
of this area, we're going to be speaking at the top of our voices. People are going to think we're complete maniacs, but we're just trying to fit the copyright. Because you know.
Oh, I can't talk over it. I'm not even going to try. So, over here, again, Classic Hall is right there in front of us. Welcome in, Amy. Good to see you. AJC Magic TV says, I like the 70s and the 60s area. It's a well-liked, centrally located area. 60s, of course, has got the biggest and the main pool. And you've got Play-Doh on this side for a cool photo op. And right behind me is the biggest gray blue bear you've ever seen. It's Mowgli and Baloo here in the 60s area. Anybody a fan of the Jungle Book? So I'm going to throw something at you, and you ready for this? The Jungle Book came out, of course, in October of 1967. It is the 19th animated feature of Disney Studios. What do you know is the coolest fact about the Jungle Book as opposed to what it has to do about Walt Disney himself? The Jungle Book was the last animated feature to be produced by Walt Elias Disney, the man himself, before he passed away.
Right.
He passed away before it came out, but he was part of the production team.
Yeah.
And it is the last film that has Walt Disney's actual fingerprints on it, and in a symbolic way.
Yeah.
Now, I'm also going to throw something else that's really going to be weird. You guys know that I love voice acting. I would, if I had an alternate life, I would love to be a voice actor. I love the idea of voice acting. And I remember the first time that I discovered and looked at the full casting for the Jungle Book. And, oh, and you remember the elephants, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's Hathor is the name of the General Hathor is the big elephant and the one in charge. And then there's like Hathor or Hathi Jr. is the little bitty elephant, the one that gets in trouble because he can't keep up and causes issues. Did you know that that little baby elephant was voiced by a kid by the name of Clint Howard? Clint Howard is the younger brother of Ron Howard, who also, of course, starred in oh, we gotta hang on, we gotta scroll. Hey, squirrel.
Oh, cool. Anyway, what were we
But
talking about?
Ron Howard, of course, you know, from Happy Days and so many other things. Of course, now he's a big-time director and has done all kinds of great movies and films. Clint Howard, his younger brother, has been in a lot of things, but I had no idea that Clint Howard was the voice of the baby elephant in the Jungle Book. We're at the backside of Classic Hall again. Welcome in, Angela. Good morning and happy Tuesday. It says, my dad loves this area at Pop because he was born in the 60s. See, and I think that has a lot to it. We have a connection to certain areas.
Man, only if they had a 2000 section themed after like the first 2000s.
What would you look for if you were looking for the thing that was your years? What would be the one item you would be most excited to see? Could you think of anything?
You're talking to me personally,
Yeah,
or just
you.
like that?
You said if they, because right now they only go to the 1990s. You were born in the 2000s. What item would you want to be if they were to make a 2000s? What item would you want to see?
Well, that's the thing. I could barely count the time I was born.
Well, it's a whole decade, so you know.
I don't know, maybe.
Morning in, Mouse Talk. How are you doing, my friend? Sterling Holloway did the
Maybe.
voice of the snake. Is also the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Maybe internet culture, maybe.
Yeah, that was 1990s. We already had the internet. So yes, Sterling Holloway was the voice of both Winnie the Pooh and the voice of Kaa. Later on, of course, now it was taken over by Jim Cummings. And it's funny, Jim, even to this day, refers to Kaa, and then he does the voice of Kaa, as the evil Winnie the Pooh.
It's true, it's true. The voice is extremely similar. Like,
Trust in me. Trust in me. Welcome in, Kate. Good to see you. Hayden, good morning.
And
Yes, Sterling did so many classic characters.
yet again,
Can
we
you
have-
stand on your head?
And we have yet again another fireplace. Again, most of the resorts have this. I'm not sure if the resort doesn't have it. If like they'll have one of the common things to do is that they have campfires. There's a sign right there for it. You can't really see it from your angle, but they also have other events here.
The groovy campfire. Join us for complimentary marshmallows daily from 6:30 to 7:30. Now, it used to be back in the day you could get the entire kit for free and complimentary. These days, they give you the marshmallows. They provide the sticks. You can purchase an additional s'mores kit that will give you the chocolate and the crackers to make the full s'mores.
Yes.
But for our kids and for Susan, they just like to have the marshmallows.
Yeah, the marshmallows are good enough. I mean, it's free marshmallows. Roasted marshmallows. On a fire, it's not just a food experience.
And Goofy here used to be, well, he's always kind of been here, but he used to also be in an area that used to be a kids' play area, a little water area. Now it's turned into our area for our community fire. And we parked here, by the way. This is our car, so I couldn't find a space out front, so we just kind of left it here. We'll, I'll move it later. All right, moving into the 1970s. You with this? What's that?
These are AM tracks as well.
Well, this is your 8-track. Eight
Okay,
track.
so we went to Amtrak.
Amtrak is a train.
Wait, so you didn't say Amtrak earlier. You
It was
said
8-track. 8-track.
Oh, okay. Well, that was.
Uno, dos, tres. Yeah, ocho.
Like,
8-track.
I was thinking, like where did this fit in the evolution?
The AM track. This is the FM track.
Okay, we went to like a home
You
system.
see at the very
home
bottom?
family.
Look at the very bottom right there.
8-track. Okay,
8-track.
So, yeah,
This is
I
what
wanted-
we have to, when we used to buy music back in the 70s, if we wanted to listen to music in our own car that was our music and our terms, we had to buy these gigantic plastic things and shove them into our console and listen to them.
Yeah,
And that's
I
what we
was-
had,
I was
8-track.
confused. I was thinking about how did we go to like a home entertainment system and something you put in your car to a whole entire freaking train.
Now, we're still considered preferred rooms because notice how close we are. If you're staying in this building here, you are completely adjacent to the Classic Hall, which is, again, showing you the preferred status.
Ooh, we have.
It's groovy, ain't it? And do you know what this is, by the way?
Is that a mood ring?
It is a mood ring. Do you know what a mood ring does?
Apparently, it changes color depending on your mood.
Yes, or body temperature.
Yeah, body temperature, exactly.
Well-
This is an area. This is like a cool addition to this area that I think I should point out. Is that
You want to play Twister?
every
And you can actually play Twister. This is actually made so that people can play Twister if they wanted to. I'm going to give it a spin.
sure. And left foot blue. Let me just spin this 3 times. See if I can go up. Left foot blue.
Make sure it doesn't always go left foot blue. Right foot yellow.
Yellow. And bam.
Right. Oh.
It went there before.
Yeah.
It went there before. Okay, so right hand blue, left foot blue, right foot yellow. Okay.
You guys want to have a community game? Oh, you're going to do it? You're going to actually do it?
Yeah. I mean, might as well. Well, actually, now that I see it, this is easy because like here, and here.
Well, that is really easy, right? Now, add 4 more people.
Yeah, add 4 more people, and it would be much more exciting.
It's the most anti-pandemic game
Yeah,
ever.
that was extremely anticlimactic. I
It's
was like,
well,
okay, we're
not
going-
anticlimactic. It's anti-pandemic. you're going to play a game in which we're going to force you to get to know everybody very, very, very well.
Yeah. But hey, if you had a family you were upset, you would still go.
Welcome in, Hilton. Glad you could join us here at Disney's Pop Century today. I'm glad you could hang out as we walk around and check out all of the different of the 10 buildings that are available. Again, if you guys are just jumping in, there are 2,880 rooms here on property, 10 buildings, 4 floors in each building, 3 pools, including the main pool, the Hippy Dippy pool, the Petals pool bar at the front, and oh, there it is. There's my Mickey phone, guys. It's Mickey Mouse. Hey, anybody in the chat ever actually own a Mickey Mouse phone? It's got to be somebody out there, right? Who's done it? Who's owned it? And there's probably somebody watching the stream going, why does it got a little thing on it? What's with the cord? It's all wired. I think it would be fun if we actually had a real phone like that to plug it in at home, give the kids a phone number and ask them to dial somebody. See how that works. And of course, if you grew up in the 70s like I did, this right here was the hours and hours of so much outdoor fun. It's not only the big wheel, it's the biggest big wheel you have ever seen. Love hanging out, and these things were plastic, but we didn't care. We would get out on the roads and we would just go flying down and around and do whatever we wanted to do. And then when we got to top speed, you know what we did next, Owen? We pulled that little bar right there and spun out. Tokyo Drift ain't got nothing on the big wheel. So if there's no one who's had a Mickey Mouse telephone, I promise you there's been some people who have had a big wheel. Go ahead, spin out, dude. Spin out. Great photo ops again.
Here.
And this is like this is exactly how they were done too. They had these little holes in there, and it was a plastic wheel, and it was. My problem was I got a hole in one of my big wheels one time, and it took on water, which made it very difficult because then it would slosh around inside the wheel, and I would actually have to get it going fast enough that the water actually helped it spin. If not, it actually slowed it down. I have so many memories of the big wheel. And thank you to everyone who hit that subscribe button today and joining us here in our Magic Crew. We are now up to 9,616 members of our community. And if you guys did hit the subscribe button today, I apologize. I've got a lot of information and things to show you, and so it's really hard for me to keep up with you guys today. And if you did hit that subscribe button, I'd love to welcome you guys in personally. And I probably have missed the majority of you guys today. So do me a favor though, jump into the chat, say hello to the rest of the crew. This is a great group of people, and let them have a chance to say hello and welcome you in as well. So we didn't talk about the foosball. Anybody for a giant game of foosball?
There's this theme of a foosball, and there is an actual foosball right here. I like the middle of it.
So even got the ball. Boink.
I don't think I'm moving it.
Jump on it. Jump on it. Jump on it. I did want to go back and say welcome in the Hilton though. Thank you so much for joining us here, Hilton. If I could say anything, if I were to put a moon ring on right now, I would be very, very happy colors that you guys could join us here at the parks today.
wanted to go to the other side and do the thing we did earlier, you can.
There's another Twister community area over here.
Right there. This area is kind of symmetrical in its platform.
Do you know what a platform shoe is, Owen?
A shoe with that's kind of like this. There isn't much room between the actual feet and the part that touches the ground. The shoe is elongated so that the feet, it makes you taller.
There we go.
There we go.
It makes you taller.
It makes you taller. It's a tall shoe.
It looks like that.
Shoe make you
There's
taller
your
for
platform shoes for people who needed a little boost. So while we're kind of moving over to the 80s and 90s, I also want to bring up something that's, I think, very important to know about the history here of the resorts. Originally, when the rooms were built here, and since 2003, there's another 8-track tape there for your stairwell at the end. Originally, these rooms all had full-size beds in them, 2 full-size beds. Which, you know, back in 2003 was okay, that's cool. Well, you know, as times went around, and full-size beds just don't work for moms and dads when they're going on vacation now, and they want something a little more. These rooms have been updated. They started in summer, I believe, of 2017, and in 2018 they did complete the updated revisions of every single room here at Disney's Pop Century Resort. And they have been changed in their design. They go from 2 full-size beds to 1 queen-size bed and 1 queen-size fold-up bed, so that if you don't need 2 beds, you can basically put 1 up in the wall and use that as a table space and area. So it provides a little bit more room, and I think overall, makes it more versatile to what they can do. He's a spud. He's a spud dude.
Yes, they have fertility to the classic ones.
The classic Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
Do you know that this is my turn to see if I can wow you here. Do you know that originally they did not have plastic shells? They were just parts, and you went out and you had to go out and get the potato yourself, but they eventually switched over to the plastic one over complaints of the actual potatoes rotting.
So originally all they did was sell you the parts. They didn't provide potato, so you actually had to bring your own potato and put the parts in it. Sort of like, you know, they do these days with, you know, pumpkins during the pumpkin season.
Some people like to get like
Jesse,
realistic pumpkins.
I'm gonna pack you your angry eyes. It's one of my favorite quotes. There we go. David got it. I packed your angry eyes. Ooh. Yes, James, it's also true. Elevator shoes. I know the name for them. They get you taller.
Okay, so these are compared to platform shoes. These are shoes that like can lift you up to like different levels as you're walking, right?
Yes, Angel. This is my son Owen, who has been coming to Walt Disney World since he was what? 8, 7 or 8, I believe, was your first trip. Now that we've gotten into the 80s, our stairwells, Rubik's Cubes.
That has to be like one of the coolest things other than the yo-yo.
You like the Rubik's Cubes?
Oh yeah, definitely, because like when they made this stairway first and then like kind of encased it around, and I think that's the coolest thing, especially that you can still like see in and out even when you're in.
Oh, you got to have visibility. But hey, let me ask you this question. The Rubik's Cube is not the only pop culture reference from the 80s that I'm seeing on this building right now. Can you name the other one?
The base?
Look at the building.
Oh, Pac-Man.
Wonka, 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 wonka. Yes, there's Pac dots. Pac-Man dots are on the building.
You can see the walls.
So we've got Rubik's Cubes as our stairs on the two 80s buildings. And we're going into our last space here. How you guys doing today? There's some of our Pac-Man ghosts.
Hey, you can actually see Pac-Man over there.
Yep.
I wonder how much Disney has to pay to get the IP to it, or it was just like a deal.
I don't know.
Like, was it like a situation like, hey, we want to use like this
Probably wasn't as
character,
hard
this
as you think it
game
might be.
here, and everyone will see it, so you don't have to pay us or something like that.
So of the rooms that are here on property, it is something to keep in mind because of the fact that there are two queen beds. One is a regular bed, one is a Murphy bed that folds up. These rooms do fit a family of 4. If you have more in your family that is beyond, say, like a toddler or something that needs a pack and play, you will either need to, one, get 2 rooms, which there are certain rooms that may have that are adjoining that can be requested, but keep in mind can't always be guaranteed of an adjoining room if you're traveling with. But if you have a family of more than 4, it may be something that you might want to find. Like for us, it was a family of 5, another hotel that might be a little bit more accommodating to that group. Well, it's Roger Rabbit. Please, Eddie. What is that in the... Is that dip? He's on a barrel of dip. Boy, he's brave. Check out Roger Rabbit here. Roger Rabbit also coming out in the 1980s. I believe Roger was actually, I think he was released in June 22nd of 1988. And if that helps you out any, think of the fact that it's the exact same day of the year as the Lady and the Tramp. June 22nd, I guess, was just a very popular release date. And still is kind of, I think. There's a lot of movies that are released in that time of the year. But Roger Rabbit, released by Touchstone Films, released in June 22nd, 1988. The other cool thing about Roger Rabbit, this is a trivia fact that only a few people know. Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, was of course based on I believe a book called Who Censored Roger Rabbit. The movie itself was the very first VHS tape that Chris, personally owned as a child. My parents, for Christmas, bought me my own VHS copy. I loved the movie so much, and it probably cost $4,000 because back then to own your own movie was just insane. I think it was literally, I think the cost of it was something like $35. It was like an insane price to have your own VHS copy of something. But I did actually have my own VHS copy of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But my coolest, my favorite thing about Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the fact that Touchstone got permission to use Disney characters.
Yes.
That's Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, you know, all the stuff like that. Well, they also went out and asked Warner Brothers if they could have to use Bugs Bunny. We want to use Bugs Bunny. We want to put a lot of very familiar characters in here because it's all about cartoons. So can we use Bugs Bunny? Can we use Daffy Duck? And Warner Brothers came back and says, yes, you can use Bugs Bunny. Yes, you can use Daffy Duck under one condition. The condition is they get the exact same screen time, the amount of time on screen as Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. So in other words, yes, you can use Bugs Bunny, but if Mickey's in the movie for 5 straight minutes, then you have to put Bugs in for 5 straight minutes. If you use Daffy Duck, he has to have as much time on the screen as Donald will have on the screen. So what did Touchstone do to fix that problem?
They just put Mickey and Bugs Bunny in the same section.
Exactly. Mickey, if you go back and watch, every time you see Mickey Mouse, you will also see Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
And it just is the way to make sure that they didn't have any problems or issues. As long as they were always on the screen at the same time,
Yep.
then they met Warner Brothers conditions.
I forgot about that.
That was the first time I ever saw Doc Brown as an evil guy too. That was scary, frightened me. And over here we've got our Walkman. Even before we had CD players that had the anti-skip, we would have a chance to walk around and bring our radios with us. And I even had those exact type of headphones on my first Walkman as well. Take your radio with you. Now Owen is standing on a very large keyboard. He's typing up his next blog post. Because this is the 80s, it's gonna take him a bit. Dude, the first letter of your sentence needs to be capitalized. Go, get caps is over here. Get the caps lock. We're gonna be here a bit. How about you just say hi? Let's just leave it at that. Boop, there we go. We are here in the 80s and the 90s, and of course 80s, it's very much Stranger Things kind of era, but as you move on over to the far area, our third building over here is the 90s. And of course, when we get into the technology era, internet, computers, and laptops. Again, just like we have at the other pools, there is a guest laundry here, so you guys can wash your clothes while you're on property.
Oh no, we're gonna get copyrighted by good music again.
Here's your thoughts on God, 'cause I'm on my way to meet her. Pool here open in the 80s and 90s area is open from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Watch out, they do have mice in the pool. Don't worry, it's the 90s, they're all wired. They can only swim out so far. Moving on into our last building of the 10 buildings here on property. CD-ROMs. You can see media has a very big influence on what we've got on all of our resorts here for our Pop Century. We've got inline skating, CD-ROMs, CDs. Yeah, let's go.
You definitely need to come to the side and see this. I just figured that out a few minutes ago.
You just figured out what was on the stairs? He's having such a good time. And that's why we suggest, if you guys come here with your family, take some time to take a resort day. If you're here for 7 days, I know the temptation is to go rope drop the park close every single day. But you know what? Especially for long vacations, take a few days, do a resort day, explore your resort and have some fun, and maybe even share some memories with your kids about what it was like when you were growing up in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s. Well, what is that?
407 Wampus. I'm pretty sure that number probably means something specific, but I did not notice it was the other side.
It's a cell phone.
Yeah, it's simple.
407 is the area code for here for Orlando.
Oh.
That's Disney's phone number.
That is smart.
Of course, when you guys come and you get ready to come to Disney and do your trips, you don't need to know that 407 number. Don't worry about having to call those numbers and waiting on heavy wait times. When it comes to doing that, yeah, don't do that. Don't worry about that. When it comes to booking your next trip, you need to just call us. We'll take care of you and you won't have to worry about any of those long waits. All right, everybody, give me just 1 second. I'm going to do a quick refresh just to make sure, since we're on the edge of the known resort property here. I'm going to do a quick refresh. Be back with you in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. So, welcome in everybody. So glad you could join us here on this Tuesday on our Ear to Ear Magic Resort Walking Tour Series. Today we are doing Disney's Pop Century Resort, and we are so happy that you've taken just a few minutes of your day to hang out with us here on property and look at what is available for you and your family if you ever want to stay in this very popular, very popular Walt Disney World Value Resort. Now we're over here at the very last of our buildings, of the 10 buildings, and we're over here in the 1990s. And this is probably one of my favorite of all the buildings that are at the pool because of just how it's designed and what the theming is. So I want to show you guys, turn the camera around here just a second and show you. It does not want to work this way. This way. I have a cast member who was trying to be polite and not jump into our shot, so I didn't jump out of his way. This is our pool room, laundry, and bathroom for the pool. But I want you guys to see that it is actually, you know what it is, right, Owen?
It's a PC.
It's exactly right. It's a personal computer.
It's a tiny PC. No, it would be big. It would be bigger.
So it even has the little screws on the side of the housing unit. And on this side, we got ourselves our own little floppy disk. Floppies! You guys remember having to have stacks and stacks and stacks of floppy disks in order to store everything for your data back in the day? Welcome in, Paul. Welcome in. And that is an excellent question. Do they have suites at Pop or All Stars? Now, they do not have suites here at Pop Century Resort. But if you're looking for larger rooms and for larger stays, they do have some limited availability of suites over at the All Star Resorts. Now, when they started to put in some of those suites over at All Stars, they realized those were very popular and people were taking advantage of them, which is why it came around the idea around 2010 that they said, you know what? I think it's time that we offer some family suites, which is where they came out with the idea of taking the leftover areas for the Legendary Hall and Legendary buildings over on the other side of Hourglass Lake to make them into family suites. So the already built building of the 1940s was made into the Little Mermaids, and they decided to make all the other buildings into family suites. So if you're looking for family suites, you can get something unlimited availability at the All Stars. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in checking out. Or if not, we can look at some prices and availability over at the Art of Animation for either the Cars, Finding Nemo, or the Lion King. To the max. Totally radical. And this guy fell down, Owen.
I think it's called a head spin. But
Oh, a head spin. Oh,
yeah.
looks like he broke something.
I know it looks confusing in the freeze frame, but he's spinning. I'm sure he's going around.
All right, we'll take you guys back. There you have it as far as the buildings that are available here. Again, 2,880 rooms, 10 buildings, 4 floors in each building. 3 in the 50s, 2 in the 60s, 2 in the 70s, 2 in the 80s, and 1 in the 90s. Now, before we head back over to the Classic Hall to check out the arcade and then check out the menus and have a bite to eat before we close out today, I think it's very important for us to highlight one of the best things that they've added here at the resort in the past few years, and that is the Disney Skyliner. So let's head over to the unnamed bridge.
the classified bridge.
But we all know the secret that it was meant to be the Generation Gap Bridge. And I say we go. I say we go for a ride over on the Skyliner. A little trip over the Caribbean beach and do a little roundabout. Greatest rock hits of the 70s. And while we're on the Skyliner, I think that would be a good opportunity for you guys to ask some questions as well, because I should be able to get fully back and engaged into the chat, be able to see the comments. Thank you so much to all of our moderators, to my wife Susan today for really helping out, because with so much going on, very heavy amount of information to share with you guys today. I haven't been able to jump into the chat nearly as much as I would often be able to do. So thank you guys so much for making sure that, one, people get their questions answered, get recognized for being in, and just making sure we have a family-friendly chat as we always strive to do here. So thank you, Magic Crew mods. You guys are amazing. We could not do what we do here on our streams without your help and your dedication to not only the community, but to the love of the parks as well. Thank you, guys. So if you are staying in the 80s and 90s room, this would be your walk over to get over to the Skyliner. Lisa, so glad you could join us on today's stream. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I know this is only the second one in it so far. We want to continue to do this on a weekly basis and share a lot more information and get you guys really prepared to know that you feel comfortable when it comes to deciding where to stay when you come on Disney World for a vacation. Because I think sometimes people will come and stay and find a resort that they like, and they'll keep coming back to that resort, which is wonderful if they enjoy it. But oftentimes, I think that sometimes we get stuck not knowing that even though we love one resort, there may be one that fits you and your situation even a little better. But even as you get older and bigger, it changes things. What?
Oh yeah, two squirrels just ran past me chasing each other.
Oh, you got squirrels? Owen got distracted by squirrels.
It isn't like they were just squirrels. Like they slowly ran behind me.
Squirrels. That you can find that even over time, that your situation might change, your group may change, and you may find that there'll be a resort that'll be a better fit for you when you're staying. So we'll be doing this again next week. If you guys have any suggestions or would like to put in your 2 cents worth as which resort you'd like to see next, I'd love for you guys to send me over an email over at chris@eartoearmagic.com and simply let me know. We'd love to see this resort. We've stayed here before, or if you have anything in particular you'd like me to highlight, I'd love to hear from you guys. So thank you for the feedback. So this is, again, you can tell by the red yo-yo that we're in the 60s building again. If you guys are staying in any of these rooms, this would be considered a preferred room, being that it's close to the Skyliner and the Classic Hall, but it's not a pool view, so it's going to be a little bit cheaper than the ones that are on the other side closer to the Hippy Dippy. A lot of cast members running around getting things done today. Look, they even have a sign near the 1970s building. 1971 Walt Disney World opens in Orlando, Florida. It's also the first year that Intel produces their first microprocessor chip. It was 17.5 pounds. No. But it is kind of scary to think about how big some of those things were back in the day.
Beers are huge. Yeah, you have to like make a room just to have.
Oh, well, you know, you've seen Spaceship Earth. It's no exaggeration.
Oh yeah, no.
That was just to calculate how many days you have left in your countdown to Walt Disney World. a simple thing like that.
Future.
Now they have 8 apps that do that on your phone that you keep in your pocket.
Yeah, everything's coming smaller, more compact, more precise, more efficient over time.
So this is, again, this was intended and originally to be the Generation Gap Bridge, taking you guys over to the legendary years. Because the legendary years were never fully developed, the name of the bridge was never given to that way. Now it holds our Disney Skyliner station, which is the only free-floating station here on property. It is floating over the water. And let's go for a ride, shall we? Quick little roundabout. We'll go over to Caribbean Beach and come right back.
Not anything serious, just like here and back.
Again, operating hours today for the Skyliner. Always make sure to watch that and make sure you don't get yourself caught. Hello, guys. There's a maximum number of 10 guests per gondola. And if you have a need to have a special access to get on, you can do so without having to worry about doing it too quickly or too fast. Mayflower 2019, that's an awesome idea. And what a wonderful, great way to do to say, hey, we're going to try something out. Hello, hello. Just do. This is beautiful. There's no character on it, so we're going to be able to see outside a little bit better. All right. So welcome into the Skyliner. Let's go for a quick ride, shall we? Welcome into the chat today, Lourdes. Good to have you.
Every time we come to that park, I just hear like, not the Rolling Stones, I hear Rock Smith in the background. As well as like the big screen that says Get Ready for like you've never heard before. Here we go!
I always think of Peter Pan.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is more similar.
Away we go!
I mean,
Here we go! And you just go taking off. Welcome in, Curtis. Curtis is going to be here Friday. How's the weather and humidity? We have all the humidity is packed into every square molecule.
We have 90% words
And it's going to be in the 90s this week. And of course, about a good chance of rain every single afternoon. So.
We are now gliding over Hourglass Lake. Please sit back, relax.
Nia, thank you so much for popping in today. How are you doing today, Dave C? Dave C is one of our awesome moderators who takes time out of his day, as busy as it is, to pop in and help with that. So thank you so much, Dave. Appreciate that. And welcome in, Nia, as a member of our Magic Crew. Glad you could be a part of our community. And we hope that you can join us on future live streams. We do stream from the parks every Monday through Friday, guys. So if you ever need a little bit of Disney or Universal magic, we would love for you guys to pop in and have a little bit of fun with us. Today, we are on our Resort Tuesday, and we're going to continue to do resorts, walking tours throughout the summer on Tuesdays. This week, we are, of course, at Pop Century. We're going to be going back and checking out the hallway, Classic Hall, food and arcade areas in the lobby of Pop Century. The rest of our week, we are going to be tomorrow back at Epcot for June the 15th. Thursday, we're going to be celebrating our 6th-year anniversary of Ear to Ear Magic at Hollywood Studios. And we hope you guys can drop in and have some fun with us at Rope Drop on Friday this week over at Animal Kingdom. So our schedules are already up for the remainder of the week. You can find these streams on our channel. You can go ahead and like them and put a reminder up to come and have some fun with us later this week as well. So glad to have you guys in.
I never like thought this, but when they need to stop this Skyliner for a bit, do they time it so that no one gets to the launch and then have it stop and have it lurch forward Or if you're having to be on that part, are you just stuck?
In just a few moments.
Just stuck. The other day I got stopped and I was like half a second away from the doors opening. And so we were just right there at the land, you know, but I don't think there's probably built into the computer system not to.
True. Yeah, that would be bad. That'd be really bad.
That's awesome, Mike. We're teaching and we're learning today. We're learning about 8-track tapes and all the different styles of rooms. Because later on, I'm just going to stop booking Disney vacations, and I'm just going to hand it over to Owen and let you guys book through him from then on.
Oh my goodness, I can see me.
Welcome in, Purity Passion. You can do it, man.
It's just waiting.
Think about all the joy you bring when you help families figure out how to come on vacation, and they don't have to stress out about things because you're there to answer their questions for them. Either that, or you can go into an office and go to a meeting every hour and listen to some guy talk about how you're not performing well enough.
True. True.
Please remain seated.
Boys do fit on the Skyliner. That's a good question. They can fit. They can roll right in here. Now, if you have to have an ECV or something like that, or a wheelchair, they do have ways for you to go on the end, and they will actually stop a gondola for you, and you'll have plenty of time to get in there and not have to worry about doing it quickly. Pivot. 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 That's awesome, Kim. So yes, just to show you guys, if you do need additional time for loading due to anything like that, they do have gondolas on the end that they can stop, pull off the line, and for help you to get on and off, and then put you onto the line that's moving on the other side without having to worry about the idea of constantly moving gondolas. So when you make it here to Caribbean Beach, this is our main hub here at the Skyliner. You can see Caribbean Beach is right over there. We'll save that for another walking tour in the future, later on in the summer. This is our line for Epcot. And over here to the left is the line for Hollywood Studios. So if you can remember, there are 3 lines, one for Epcot, one for Hollywood Studios, and one for Art of Animation and Pop Century. Now, on the way to Epcot, there is a place for you to slow down and stop off at the Riviera, exactly. So, but there are still only 3 lines. We're going to jump right back on and go right back over to Pop Century. Hey, if you guys are having a good time today, let us know by hitting that thumbs up button in our chat. We got a lovely green one. This is beautiful. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Have a great day, sir. We would love it if you guys could help us out when it comes to YouTube, telling us how we're doing today. By hitting that thumbs up button, thumbs up on streams, tell YouTube what streams should get some attention and inviting some more people in. So thank you guys so much for hitting that thumbs up button for today. And welcome in Brian Campbell for hitting that subscribe button. Welcome to the Magic Crew. Lourdes, so happy to have you part of our group today. Here we go. See, that just works with Peter Pan. Hey, Jay Border 20, thank you also for joining the crew. Welcome in. Glad to have you part of the group.
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. Now get ready to travel back in time and enter the animated worlds of Disney. We are on our way.
So yeah, they put both of them in there.
Yeah.
Back in time, animated world.
Animation Resort.
Oh, thank you so much, Carolina. That is probably the easiest and fastest way to help out any of your favorite Disney creators when it comes to live streaming. It's just to hit the like button. So we greatly appreciate it.
no effort, just hit a button.
Boom, that makes a big
That's
difference.
simple. And it makes such a big difference in such a tiny action.
11 Drew in says, great work, guys. Listening at work while I get projects done. Gonna be at Pop in 3 weeks. Perfect. Well, let us know. Be coming to Pop here in the next few weeks. If there's some additional questions we can help you answer, feel free to ask. That's what we're here for.
Thank you for your patience.
Huh.
Welcome in, Julie Smith. Oh, cutting the front lawn. Oh, cutting the grass can be exhausting.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your
I
patience.
used to cut the grass. I used to cut the grass all the time.
Journey, and will take flight
And-
momentarily. Thank
and-
you.
And even better, the house I used to live in Cutgrass, the yard was a hill.
Yeah,
It was
all
uphill.
uphill.
It was, you literally had to work uphill. If you tried to go up or down, it would be painful. It would either go flying off into the street, or you would not be able to go that hill.
So Daniel says, going to Pop Century, but at Hollywood Studios right now. Have to return to work, Maribel. Thank you so much for popping in. Get that? Popping in. Hey, these are the jokes here, Owen. I mean, come on. Thank you, Maribel. Have an amazing afternoon, and hopefully we'll see you either later today or back at Epcot tomorrow.
We are now gliding over the sparkling waters of Hourglass Lake. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the most magical flight on Earth.
We have plenty of Florida sunshine here at Sprite 67, so thank you for letting us share it with you today.
In just a few moments, we will be arriving at the only floating Skyliner station at Walt Disney World Resort. Passengers can disembark here for Disney's Pop Century Resort and for Disney's Art of Animation Resort. Thank you for flying the Disney Skyliner. Bon voyage!
So yes, we do have a couple of current promotions for the immediate next few months. One of them being the Disney Plus. If you have a Disney Plus subscription, by the way, this never stops. By the way, she talks the entire time. She's sort of like me on a live stream. But they do have Disney Plus subscription promotions right now. If you guys have a Disney Plus account, let us know when you contact us to book, and we'll see if we can get that promotion for you. Thank you.
Name tags.
And they do have different promotions that do pop up from time to time, guys, including annual pass holder discounts, Florida resident discounts, and as the year goes on, all kinds of others that may just be announced at any one time. One thing as Travelmation travel agents we do is we recommend that you guys book your trips as early as possible for the dates that you would like to have. Don't wait until promotions are released, because then your availability may go down as other people are grabbing those rooms. Instead, let us book your vacation as early as possible, get the lowest possible rate and ticket prices. And when those promotions come out, we can then take advantage of adding them to your room. And if it's a good promotion for you and lowers your balance, we'll just add it to your promotion. We'll just add it to your reservation. We love sending those emails. Hey, guess what? Promotion came out today. We saved you X number of dollars. Ta-da! I don't have to worry about it. That's the great thing is if you book directly, they won't ever contact you to say, hey, I know that you booked this 3 months ago, but prices have gone down due to a promotion. You want us to save you some money? That won't happen. But with us, we're going to make sure to get you the best price possible. You got Elvis playing now. See, yes, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to walk right up against the rooms because I want to be able to see the chat for just a few more moments. Actually, you know what? You want to go up inside the yo-yo? You do, don't you? He's been dying to get in one of these yo-yos.
Yes.
He wants to get inside the yo-yo. I don't blame him. Let's go up inside the yo-yo, guys. A Duncan Imperial. So, see, guests, we'll be there Saturday for my first week-long trip solo with my 9-month-old daughter. Say a prayer for me, LOL. You'll do fine. And I'm hoping that we can help prepare you a little bit for it. Thank you so much, see, guests, for that. When you guys give either super chats or PayPals, it really does help us as our channel. And even for now, grabbing some food here in the food court in just a few minutes. We'll show you guys the menu and what you might be able to get and find here at Pop Century. We are now inside the Imperial Yo-Yo. It's pretty cool up here, right? Let's show you guys the outside of it too. Well, Lourdes, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. It is a lot of fun for us to share experiences with you guys. And we hope that you guys find it to be a very personable and enriching experience. A little bit of fun, a little bit of knowledge. Our Duncan Imperial Yo-Yo. Inside there is my son somewhere. And I knew he was going to enjoy going inside of it. And everybody who hit that subscribe button today, welcome into our crew. We're getting ready to celebrate very soon. What's that? How did I get up here? Stairs. I wanted to show the outside too. Great views up here. Welcome in Disney with us. We haven't done the recreation calendar. It's a great idea. As we go back up toward Classic Hall, we'll see if we can find some of the recreation calendar activities listed. They have tons of fun things to do at and around the pool all afternoon throughout the week. And if you're having a resort day, or even if you decide to take a break from the parks in the middle of the day for a little bit of pool time, and have some more fun, like doing things like making tie-dye t-shirts. I mean, isn't that just perfect? You're staying in the 1960s and you're making tie-dye t-shirts. What a cool souvenir. You can buy a t-shirt at Disney, or you can make a tie-dye shirt and everyone can go, oh, I like your shirt. And you can go, yeah, I made this at Disney World. Squirrel friend, what you doing? You're not getting into trouble, are you?
No, stay away from the groceries.
Look at that little mischief little guy. Look at him. He's like, I bet I can find something in there.
They're recording something illegal.
He is going through the trash.
The corner so he doesn't have...
Dude, you better get out of that trash. That's going to make your stomach hurt. Yeah, don't get in there. Don't get in there. Don't scare him. Don't scare him. So, Mike, not all of the resorts do it, and lots of times the resorts will find things that are very much themed to their resort. So, we'll see if we can find a recreation table, and if we can find a pricing, I'll let you know. Again, we're back over to the Classic Hall in the Hippy Dippy pool area. One of my favorite things are the flowers that are up above the pool that squirt water into the pool. Anybody else would love to get into the pool today? Well, thank you for asking, Mike. I don't know if you guys can see the flowers squirting water into the pool all the way around the edge. Great day for a pool day. And we're back to the Petals Bar, where our friends recommended and helped us out with a non-alcoholic strawberry and a lava smoothie. So
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
I figured I needed to cool you off a little bit before I walked you around the entire place. So
Again, I think I said this before, but like I was really thinking about just getting like a strawberry or like frozen lemonade. But
I'm glad you got the lava.
I'm glad I tried something new. You always want to try something new. Never thought pina colada and like raspberry would go so well together. Now I know.
So let's check out our recreation calendar here. So this is just my iPhone. So now prices aren't listed, but they do have a Mickey tie-dye experience. It's Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays between 4 and 5. And they do it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays over at Art of Animation. Of course, the campfire we talked about earlier is from 6:30 to 7:30. Scavenger hunt, of course, the running trail. Lap swimming is from 9 to 10 a.m. at the computer pool on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
They have some like
And Olaf's Summertime Fun, Beat the Summer Heat, Frozen themed poolside fun on Saturdays, starting at 1. Nighttime trivia from 8 to 8:30 at the pool bar. You can make Boogie Woogie Slime on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays between 4 and 5. And of course, they do have movies every week, every night actually, starting at 8:30.
two things I would like to know here is that one, they know not just the pool here, but the pool on the opposite side of it.
Yes, because it's just an easy walk
It's
over
an
to Art
easy
of
walk.
Animation.
So you have two options every night, and also two, just some of the movie choices because it's a long. They have like a wide range. For instance, they have like some other ones like the Goofy movie, and Brother Bear. But they also have a lot of new ones like both Turning Red, Frozen 2, and Luca. If you haven't watched it
Luca's
already,
one of them.
you can watch them here.
Pretty cool.
This is pretty new time, so I think it's really cool.
But it'd be kind of cool to watch Brother Bear. And everybody, we're on our way. All right, we're back in Classic Hall. We missed the arcade in the beginning, so I want to take you guys into the Fast Forward arcade. No food or drink are allowed. It is open from 8 to 11. Everything is run off of a recharge card. There are machines at the beginning of the arcade where you can charge your card up. And at one point, which I don't think it's that way anymore, my other son learned a year or so ago that some of the classic games, some of the old games in the very far back of this area were actually free play. And he lost his mind. So you could play like Donkey Kong Jr. and stuff like that. I don't think it's no longer the case, but that was his main goal in life, was just to get back here and play in the arcade. So Julie, we're going to take you guys over into Everything Pop in just a moment. And we're going to grab a bite to eat. That's a chance for me to be fully engaged into the chat and answer more questions. Show you some some photos of the rooms. And we'll show you guys what the menus look like. Welcome in, Jen. Good to see you. I don't know if Chase is in earshot, but how's my buddy Chase doing? Yeah, I know, Eddie. I know. Back into Everything Pop, shopping and dining. So of course,
One thing I like that they did because the lobbies were probably built at the same time when they were trying to do both legacy and classic because the lobbies are very similar. That this lobby is completely like this store and
well, and Pop Century, the dining and the shopping is in an open space, and it also has the same name. It's the same name. Everything is Everything Pop.
everything is under
Over at Art of Animation, it's the Landscape of Flavors is the name of the food court, and it's actually enclosed in a slightly different room. So
away from the gift shop.
yes.
So, I like how they differentiate between the two.
So I told Owen that since he's doing such a great job of helping me and walking around and doing these resort tours, and that we would be doing more, that I might just go ahead and reward him with a resort mug today, so that we can use it not only today but anytime we come to the resorts for a little bit. So, and thank you so much for the PayPal from the Explorers earlier this morning. That was awesome, guys. Thank you. To help with some of that cost. So let's walk in. We're going to look at some of the menus. We'll look at our pastries and stuff, and then we'll pick something to eat and sit down and chat with you guys for a bit. Well, Julie, we're going to be hitting a new resort every Tuesday, so we'd love for you guys to come in. And if you have some suggestions, let us know. Last week, we did Coronado Springs. If you missed it, it's always available for replay. Go back and watch it. And last week, we did a moderate. This week, we did a value. I don't know about you guys. I think next week, we need to go deluxe.
Oh, you have the 50th mugs.
So, Owen, I'm going to let you choose which mug you'd like to have. They're $19.99.
Do I want the one with yellow or blue, or do I want the one with yellow or blue?
They're $19.99. They are good for the length of your stay, but I'll give you guys a secret. They're going to be good for us to use for more than just our resort stay today. So I think it's to be a good investment to make sure that Owen stays hydrated moving forward.
Oh, there's two different designs as well.
You want to show them the different designs?
Sure, let me see this one. Here, so we have one with like the new cartoon style. You see like the new art style you see in cartoons. The daytime or cheering. And then we have this one that's a bit more modern and has a night sky to it.
And it's got Stitch. Now notice it's got the resorts. Notice Stitch and Moana, the Poly. Then you've got the Contemporary. And I bet if you keep looking, you'll find the Grand on there. Or is the Grand over here? There's the Grand. So you've got one with the blue, and they all have the new Mickey closer at the top.
I'm going to go with this one because that's good for myself. I like the night scene.
You're going to go with the blue?
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you grab the yellow one for me as well?
Okay, which yellow?
One on the top. So it's a different design than yours. You want to hold that for me? Because at $4 and change per drink, I'm sure we'll get our money's worth out of it between the next few weeks when we're going to be taking you guys here at the resorts. Some of our grab and go options here.
Awesome drinks, rocking drinks, dude drinks.
We have some grab and go sandwiches and salads, like a Caesar salad with chicken, Caesar salad with shrimp, a Greek salad, and a Greek salad with chicken, and a Greek salad with shrimp. Ham and cheese sandwich.
This food is so awesome.
Greek salad with plant-based tuna. Well, thank you so much for being here in spirit with us today. And thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Welcome in, Vicky. Well, we've got strawberry parfait yogurt. Oh man, my phone is acting up today. Welcome in, Kenneth. How are you? Overnight oats. And the 50th celebration cheesecake. By the way, guys, this is gluten-free. It's not listed as gluten-free, but Susan did find out that it is something that she can have.
This is interesting. So they have cookies and cream cupcake, but then they also have a black and white cupcake, which implies that it's not cookies and cream and not vanilla.
It's just chocolate and vanilla. Well, we've got a Pop Goes Banana cupcake, which that is not a banana cupcake. That's our Pride Month cupcake. And we also have tie-dye cheesecake. Cookies and cream cupcake.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Welcome in, Nami Nam.
Let me like.
And we have a
Oh yeah, that's the refrigerator section. It's like higher.
even a smiley face cupcake there. Other grab and go options. This is our pastries, our baked goods. So we have chocolate chip muffins. We have some of maybe some of our cookies that we smelt this morning. We had chocolate chip cookies.
Oh my goodness,
Smelt them
that's
baking
so
today. Cinnamon rolls, bagels, apple danishes, cherry danishes. What happened to the good old cheese danishes that used to have that I loved so much? Blueberry muffins. And even the 50th anniversary celebration macarons. I know, Mike. Susan would tell you, I used to love the cheese danishes, and they just don't have them anymore. They do apple and they do the cherry, but they don't do the cheese like they used to do in the back in the days.
cheese.
They also have a few gluten-free options.
Water being one of them.
Next, we'll have plant-based lobster. Hey, we have plant-based shrimp. Why not, right? And I do have a few wine options and ice cream. You can get your Mickey bar, premium Mickey bar, or you can get your helados Mexico, strawberry fresa, fruit bar, or the Mickey's premium ice cream bar.
50th edition.
Or it says get some Nutter Butter cookies. Welcome in. JB, glad you could join us today on our stream from the Pop Century. Corn Dog Jimmy, welcome. Let's take a look at quickly at some of our menus here. Now we have some of our items that are available at this location: grilled chicken sandwich, chicken strips, honey barbecued pork sandwich, including kids meals, including cheeseburger and chicken strips. The popping pimento burger, which is actually usually available at all of the resorts. It's something that they just sort of spread around all of them. It's bacon, pimento cheese, and some other things on there as well. There's the 50th anniversary dome dessert we saw just in a moment. I'm going to flip back over and we'll see it one more time. All right, bacon cheddar cheeseburger, the cheddar cheeseburger, and the impossible burger. So this is all your burgers and your chicken strips and stuff like that. Amina wants to know, what foods have we tried here before ourselves? We've had a good bit of most everything at one point or another. This is our pastas over here, including chicken parmesan pasta, penne pasta, baked gnocchi, turkey bolognese, a super slice of pepperoni pizza, cheese pizza, and you can buy an entire pizza as well. And I'm pretty sure you can get some French fries here. I think at the station we were just at, you can get just a side of fries. And over here, we've got Walt's chili cheese all beef footlong hot dog, your plant-based tuna salad, roasted hummus, red pepper hummus on a Greek salad, roasted buttermilk chicken. Oh my gosh. Woo. Braised beef, seared salmon, and of course, Walt's chili in a bread bowl. Is Walt's chili with us today, by the way? And they have a few grab and go snacks as well. Welcome in, Dave. How are you? What would you guys get? Happy Tuesday, Ruby. Welcome. There's Walt's chili right there. All right, let's see if we can get Owen something to eat. What are you in the mood for, bud?
Maybe one of the chicken sandwiches and maybe pasta.
A chicken sandwich and pasta?
No, I'm in between one of those.
Oh. I was gonna say, this is not a buffet. What do you think he's going to get? Is he going to go with a chicken sandwich? Chelsea says there's a hidden Mickey in the middle. You talking about in the tile? I have no idea what you're talking about, Chelsea. That would be crazy. Why in the world would they put a hidden Mickey in the middle of the food court? That would be crazy. But we're all a little mad around here, aren't we, Chelsea? What you gonna get?
Pick it up.
What are you gonna get?
Grilled chicken
A grilled chicken sandwich? We can go up there and ask for it. Go grab it. So, Namanan, there are several buffets that have returned, including Boma and over at Cape May Cafe. So, yes, we do have buffets back. Not all of them, but some of them. Which one are you going to get, bud? The grilled chicken sandwich? Okay.
Can I get a grilled chicken sandwich?
Hey, and if you're watching and you haven't hit the thumbs up for us today, can you help us get the 400 likes? You can do it. We only need 5 more people to help us. And if you guys are looking for some information about gluten-free dining here at Disney, my wife Susan does have a Facebook group that she's created just to put information up and about her experiences and what she does as far as gluten-free and other special dietary needs. So check it out over at Facebook. The link there is provided. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Mike, for putting that in there. And thank you guys for hitting that like button today. Those are awesome. 400 likes on the stream. Thank you for making it possible to have YouTube help us share the stream out. And hopefully, if you guys are watching this either live or in a replay, we provided some good information for you. Maybe some things you didn't know about Pop Century today. Just stand up there. Stand up there. No, you're fine. Just stand up so everybody can walk behind you. Thank you, Julie. Appreciate that. Awesome, Dave. You guys are so supportive and we appreciate it. Owen's getting a grilled chicken sandwich up. And thank you, Melissa, for hitting that subscribe button. I hope you know that you've just elected to join a group that is an amazingly positive, upstanding, and positive group here on YouTube. So our magic crew are here to make sure that everyone leaves with a smile on their face. Oh, and man, they are piling on the French fries, guys. Make sure I get those teenagers some food. How's it look?
That's a lot of cheese for grilled chicken. Look at that.
Is that mozzarella?
I think yes.
That's a slob of mozzarella on there.
Oh my goodness. I did not expect that to be that. I can't really get it.
All right, let's. Right over there, man. Right over there. All right, I'll be back with you guys in just a moment. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Enjoy.
All right. Here, can you get these for us? I'm going to go have a seat and you join me. You want me to grab your silverware for you, or do you need any? You don't need any utensils, do you? Okay. You're going to come find me? All right. Owen's going to get his stuff, grab a drink. And let him have a chicken sandwich. And I'm going to sit here with you guys for just a few more minutes, answer your questions. And I also want to show you a couple of pictures of what the rooms look like here at the Pop. All right. Let's feed the teenager. Turn this around. Hi, guys. So happy that you guys chose to spend a few minutes with us today on Ear to Ear Magic so that we can show you a little bit of what you can find here at Disney's Pop Century. I hope that even if you stayed here before, that there is something on our stream that was maybe you didn't know, or something that will help you in your future travels as well. So I again appreciate it for the thumbs up, for the chat, and everything else. That's just amazing. For people like Melissa, who's joining us for the very first time, I'm so glad you could be a part of our crew. Glad that you can make our magic crew even more magical by being a part of our chat and live streams in the future. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Now, Dave, you're awesome, man. Welcome in, Carrie. You guys are going to be in tomorrow, right? Hopefully we'll get to see you. Welcome in, Roxanne. Melody says, I love Pop Century. Stayed in the 50s building last time, over with all of the bowling and with Lady and the Tramp. So, one thing, and welcome in, Cisco. Good to have you in. And everybody, if I missed you guys today, as I'm walking around, I just felt like I really wanted to give you some really great information about Pop. I might have missed being able to say hello or to answer one of your questions. So if you did ask a question earlier and I missed it, feel free to ask again. And I would love to be able to answer that. Also, if you like to have more time to sit with us and ask questions, we do have a system and a link that you can click. Thank you, Stephen, for putting that up there. Calendly will allow you to book a 30-minute session with us over the phone so that we can answer all of your questions. My hat is on. My hair look okay? If you'd like to have a little bit more time to ask some very in-depth questions that are specific to what's going on, so click that link, pick a time, and let us know if we can help you. And of course, we're always open for additional questions. If you would like to ask us or have even some things specifically about travel, and it doesn't even have to be about Disney, make sure to just email us over at chrisedwards@travelmation.net and susanedwards@travelmation.net so we can take care of things. Are you enjoying your fries? You haven't dug into the chicken sandwich yet?
The thing was, I couldn't like pick it up because there were so many fries. I was actually like easy.
He has to eat the fries. He had to eat half the fries so we can get into it. This is his chicken sandwich. They piled on the fries. Look at that cheese.
I did not know the cheese was there. I know there was tomato. I know there was like.
Dude, you could take that chicken off and that would be an awesome sandwich by itself. Look at that. Anybody warning? Anybody else drooling? Are you drooling yet? The fries were piled up like this high. He's like me. He's like, I have to eat half the fries so I can get at the sandwich. So Owen didn't fall too far from the tree. Jared says, I'm actually so happy to see you right there. Absolute best property. It is really good. And it's really a perfect fit for so many families. So always good to have that. Florida Park Explorer says, please bring one of those back and drop it by. I'll see if I can help out. All right, so here's the thing that I didn't get to share with you guys, and I wanted to make sure I did this where it was at a point where I could talk with you guys a little bit more about it. But let me show you this, and this is the most important thing. This is what your rooms are going to look like when you're staying here at Pop. They have, like I said, they started renovations back in 2017. They finished them in 2018. And so all the rooms here are fully renovated at Pop and now include queen size beds, hardwood like laminate floors. And notice the table there and the chairs is an actual Murphy bed. When you move the chairs out of the way, you can pull the handles off to the side, and a second queen size bed will fold down. So if you need two beds, you have them. If you only need one, then you don't have to worry about that second bed taking out of the space. Or at least if you need both beds, at least it's not taking up all that floor space in the middle of the day when you're not sleeping. It is very nice as far as the artwork that they put in there. Because of the fact that they've taken out the rugs and the carpeting, it makes it so much cleaner and easier to clean overall. So each room does have a refrigerator in it. It does have an in-room safe. And, you know, most of the in-room things that you would expect and would want to have while staying at a Disney resort property. There says the hardwood floor change was a huge upgrade. And it's a lot easier to clean and keep clean than carpeting. Carpeting will maintain smells and odors and things like that, especially if you have someone who goes to the pool a lot. You don't have to worry about that when it comes to the laminate flooring. Oh, the dancers are going to dance now. The cast members are going to be dancing. Oh, we're going to do the hustle, guys. $1970s, by the way. So Cisco, today we're not going to be in the parks. We focus just on the resort today. We will be back in the parks tomorrow for our rest of our schedule for the rest of the week. Would love to have you guys join us for that. Starting tomorrow, we're going to be back over in Epcot, Hollywood Studios on Thursday, and on Friday we're going to be going back to Animal Kingdom. And to round out all 4 parks for you this week, hope that you guys could join us. Those streams are already up on our channel, so go find them now. Go ahead and give it a like and hit the reminder button to come and join us tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday as we get back into the parks and have some more fun with you guys there as well.
Hey, you want to get the first bite of this on camera?
Nope. Oh, you want to show everybody your sandwich?
Yeah.
He wants to show everybody a sandwich.
I don't know. I felt like I should give a review of it. Go for it. Oh boy.
Poor kid's hungry and he's waiting to show you guys what a sandwich looks like.
Oh my god.
How is the cheese?
Chicken is good, but like the tomato, the greens, and especially the cheese,
It's not lettuce.
Good.
It's
I couldn't. It's not. No, it's not lettuce.
Is it arugula?
I think. Oh, it's not a cheese.
A spring mix. Those slabs of mozzarella are just crazy. All right, so every time we do a food review, we always ask 2 things. 1, would you get it again? You would have that again? And 2, if you were to give it a rating of 1 to 5, what would you give it?
I say definitely a 5.
Oh, a 5. In other words,
Maybe a 4.8.
4.8. There we go. We've got
I feel like no producer is a 5 because nothing is going to be perfect. But this is good, especially again, like you said, like months. But the comment about like just the tomato and the mozzarella and the greens being essentially still be good. That's true because I had so much more.
I did
combine
not-
that with the chicken.
I did not expect the cheese. Is everybody hungry now?
I didn't see the cheese there either.
Is everybody
So I was
is
expecting-
everybody sufficiently hungry now that Owen is doing that? Pat says the wife is wanting to stay at a moderate resort due to transportation to and from the parks. Is there anything different at a moderate resort that you can't get at a resort like Art of Animation? Generally, when you're going from value to moderate, you're going to get geography is the big thing, maybe an extra mode of transportation. But the biggest thing you're going to get is you're going to get an additional option for dining. So, for instance, here, we've got our wonderful food court at Pop Century, Pat. There is no sit-down dining. There is no restaurant that you can get a reservation for and have a server come and bring you food. When you move to moderate, such as Caribbean Beach, you then have stuff like Sebastian's Bistro, an additional form of dining, and then you also have some of different options here and there. But the biggest thing you're going to see is the fact that you're going to have sit-down restaurants with reservations. Now, when you go to things like Port Orleans Riverside, Port Orleans French Quarter, you are taking away the Skyliner, but then you have the boat service over to Disney Springs. You also have larger lounges, which here you don't have a lounge, but you do have a lounge over at Port Orleans Riverside, as well as your sit-down restaurant. So that's going to be your biggest difference you're going to see between value and moderate. All right, so guys, I'm going to let Owen finish things out, and I'm going to take you guys outside. Go ahead and finish eating, bud. I'll be back in just a moment. I don't want to keep him from eating, but I know that I'm going to take you guys out one more time outside the Pop Century. Again, we are Travelmation travel agents. This is what Susan and I do to take care of our family, including one of our three, our eldest there. So when it comes to feeding our kids, when you guys book with us, you're helping our family. We're so grateful for everything you guys do for helping us in our small business in that way. So thank you guys for that. As well, for today, thank you for hanging out with us here at Pop Century. I hope that it's been beneficial and learning a little bit more about what the resort has available. 2,880 rooms and 10 buildings across 4 floors. And we are here to make sure that if you're ready to come here at Disney World, we're going to make it happen. So, guys, send us out an email if we can help out. But the biggest thing is we want to make sure that you guys continue to have fun with us here at Ear to Ear Magic. If you don't follow us over on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, go check us out on the other social media. And tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, if you haven't gone ahead and said hello and thumbs up on those streams, we're really pushing to make a big difference in what we can do and share with people today, tomorrow, Thursday and Friday in our streams, because we want to make sure that you come in, you have a great time, no drama, nothing that would take away from your day, because we really do want you guys to leave our streams with a smile from ear to ear. So guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Look to see your Travelmation emails coming through where we can help you book. But the big thing is we can't wait to see you guys in the future and even starting again tomorrow in the parks. Guys, have an amazing day. And if you do, share a little bit of magic with some people you run into today. We'll see you guys real soon, and have an amazing afternoon. Bye, guys.